Hi, I'm Daphne Richards. Our question this week is, when is the best time to plant a tree? Of course, we've timed our answer to this question to the absolute perfect season for planting trees, autumn. With shorter day lengths, cooler temperatures, and maybe even a little rainfall, autumn has everything that a tree needs to keep transplant stress to a minimum. Most of the trees that we plant here in Central Texas are deciduous, so they'll soon be dropping all their leaves and going dormant to avoid the damaging cold of winter. During the winter, with no growth happening above ground, trees are free to focus their resources below ground on their roots. If planted in the fall, trees have almost half a year to establish their root systems before the temperatures get overbearingly hot and they start to need more water to survive. In order to take up water, plants must release water into the environment through a process called transpiration. During the heat of summer, the air is so hot and dry that it practically sucks the water right out of the leaves, which is why during extremely hot weather, like we had in 2011, many trees drop their leaves and go dormant during the summer. Dormancy is simply a plant's way of avoiding stress. It takes a lot of water to support a canopy full of leaves, and if there isn't enough water, which is a pretty stressful situation, a good strategy is to drop those leaves and go to sleep until the stress passes. So if you've ever planted a tree during the spring, especially in the late spring, or if summer's arrived early, you may have noticed that your tree immediately dropped all of its leaves and struggled to survive all summer long. But I bet once the temperatures began to drop and the sun became less intense a few months later, new leaves appeared and the tree took advantage of that short autumn window to get just a little bit of growth under its belt before winter and its true dormant season arrived. The lower temperature and higher relative humidity of fall help to keep trees better hydrated. So planting during autumn gives trees more time to acclimate to their new environment, your yard, and get established. Our plant this week is pink fairy duster, Caliandra Areophila. This beautiful little West Texas native shrub with its dense branching habit and tiny leaflets is often referred to as straggly. But in the spring and summer, when it's covered with hundreds of puffy pink flowers, you'll discover why it's such a beautiful addition to your landscape. Although it may remain evergreen in areas where winters are very warm, it's deciduous in Central Texas. Pink fairy duster won't need any supplemental irrigation if we're getting even small amounts of rainfall. But if we have a particularly long dry spell during the hottest part of summer, it will benefit from a little extra water once a week or so. It does best in rocky, gravelly soil, so if you have plenty of heavy clay soil, this plant won't do as well for you. Pink fairy duster gets about 3 feet tall and wide, so give it plenty of space. It also needs the full, bright sun to perform well and be happy. We'd love to hear from you, so please visit KLRU-CTG to send us your questions or plants of the week from your garden.